Hi, my name is Kyotu Hei. I also go by Chris. My presentation is about Bagan Earthquakes in 2016. I chose this presentation because this event took place at my birthplace, Myanmar. It was a tragic experience for me and for my family because the earthquake hit most of our religious pagodas and temples in this Asian city. Bagan is an Asian city located in dry zone of Myanmar, the very centers of our country, along the banks of Erie rivers, covering an areas of little over 42 square kilometers. Uh, this lands of old temples and pagodas was shaken by a series of earthquakes since ancient times, and the earliest records dated all the way back to 25th November 1372. Most of the pagodas and temples withstand the many earthquakes throughout the history, but tragically, more than 400 of them fallen over under the force of this 6.8 magnitude earthquakes that hits in 24th August 2016, which is also the strongest earthquakes in 900 years. Some of these pagodas are left intact and withstand to maintain the roles of its past glories, which is a historical monuments in Southeast Asia. These are the photos of the most recent strongest earthquakes in Bacan. Uh, uh, I also have my personal experience, which I recall from my family. Like it was a real tragic moment for us, since most of these pagodas are like hundreds and hundreds of years old, uh, dated all the way back to like 11th centuries. Uh, it was a real sad moment for all of us. Like there's also a interview of a local who have experienced this earthquakes.
ကျွန်တော်နာမည်ကိုအောင်ကျော်ဆန်းပါခင်ဗျကျွန်တော်စီစူပါမီဖျားမှာဆိုပြီးနဲ့ရှော့ဖွင့်ထားပါတယ်ခင်ဗျကျွန်တော်ဆိုင်လေးကဒီဆိုင်လေးပါပဲကျွန်တော်ဒီဖျားမှာရောင်းတာအနှစ်20လောက်ရှိပါပြီခင်ဗျကျွန်တော်ကငလင်စစားလို့ခြင်းမှာဒီခုံလေးနဲ့ထိုင်းနေဆိုင်စုံသားလေးမှာထိုင်းနေတော့ငလင်ကစလောက်လိုက်တော့လာတော့ငလင်ဆိုင်ကထွက်လိုက်တာထွက်တော့ငလင်ကဆောင်းလောက်လိုက်တော့ကြတော့ပြင်းလာတော့ဆိုင်းရှိထွက်လိုက်တော့ထွက်လိုက်ရင်ဖေးကကြည့်လိုက်တော့ဖေးကထီတော်ကြီးကခါရမ်းပြီးတော့တီးရုံးရှိတဲ့ထီတော်ကြီးကပြူးကြပါတော့အင်္ဂါတော့မှအင်္ဂါတော့ပြူးကြသွားတော့နောက်အဲ့ထက်မှာစပိန်ဧည့်သည်က9ယောက်ရှိတယ်အီတလီဧည့်သည်က2ယောက်ရှိတယ်ဗမာဖျားဘူးကတစ်ဖွဲ့ရှိတယ်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်ဈေးသည်တွေကလန့်ပြီးတော့ဒီတွင်းရထွက်လာဖို့လန့်ခေါ်နေကြတာအဲ့ဒါတွေပြေးထွက်လာတယ်။အဲ့ဒီပြိုသွားပြီးရင်တော့ဒီဒေါ်လာနေရာဖွဲ့ပေါ့နော်။ Pride တာဖွဲ့တွေဒီမှာတန်းရှင်းလို့ဖို့လာကြတာပေါ့နော်။ရှေးအောင်ဦးစီးပြီးတော့ရှေးအောင်ကုတ်ကဲဦးစီးပြီးတော့ဒီမှာတန်းရှင်းလို့ဖို့ဒီနေ့ကိုလူရောက်250 300လောက်လာကြတော့သူကြရဟာတွေကိုအောက်သူစနေတကြလဲနေကြတယ်။ဒီတန်းရှင်းတွေကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ပြောတာတော့2လလောက်တော့2လကျော်လောက်လောက်ရမယ်လို့ပြောတာ။ဖြစ်လိုက်တာနဲ့ဆိုရောင်းဝယ်ရတော့အသွားတာပေါ့ကျွန်တော်ရောင်းဝယ်ရတော့ထိခိုက်တာပေါ့ထိခိုက်တာတော့ဒီဖျားတွေကဒီလိုပြက်တဲ့ရှိုးရဲတွေကလည်းကက်ဆယ်လောက်ကြဒီဗမာပြည်လာပဲဟာပေါ့ကျွာလည်းငလင်းဖြစ်လို့ဆိုပြီးတော့မလာရရလဲလို့ရှိတယ်သူဟိုတယ်မှာဘုံကင်းလောက်ထားတာလေးလည်းပြက်တယ်လို့ပြောတယ်ဒီပြင်ဖျားတွေကဒီပြင်ဖျားတွေလည်းသူ့အနေနဲ့သူနေရာတွေကပုံပြည့်နေလေပြည့်နေရကြတော့ဒီထီလို့မင်းလို့ပြောဗျာသူ့အနေနဲ့သူရှိတယ်ဆိုင်ကအလွတ်မရှိတော့နေရာမရှိတာကျွန်တော်နားလည်းမတူဘူးနဲ့ဟိုကိုယ်နဲ့ရင်းနှီးတဲ့လူတယောက်နဲ့ဒီလိုဆိုင်ကြီးပွဲဖွင့်မယ်ဆိုရင်လည်းကုံကြီးကတူနေတော့တိတ်အဆင်မပြေတယ်ဖြစ်ပြန်ဟိုကတော့မလွယ်ဘူး ဒီပြင်ပြရရှိဖို့ဆိုတာလေ
Tectonic setting of Bagan is made out of 4 tectonic terrains and 3 accreted belts. Those 4 tectonic terrains are Rakhine Coastal Plain, Central Burma Basin, Shans, and Kachin terrains, and those 3 accreted belts are Indochina belts, Shan boundary belts, and Tamil belts. Bagan is in the centrals of Myanmar, which consists of 5 physiographic divisions, starting from the Rakhine Coastal Plain, followed by Rakhine Ranges and Central Myanmar, Shan Plateau, and finally Kachin Mountains. Among these divisions, the Central Myanmar Basin is a lowland areas and a flatland covered with mainly rocks and sandstones and clays. Indian plates is subducting beneath Burma plates along Sanda subduction zone from northwards to northeast. These movements of Indian Ocean crest is the most important part of tectonic in Myanmar since the ancient time. Bagan is in a flatland areas of the bank of Erie River. As you can see on the second figure, there's a black line flowing across the country. The Erie River is flowed to the southwest direction from the confluence points of Chinduing and the Erie Rivers, and then due south through the flat plains of drying zone areas of central Myanmar. There are a few sandstone hills and cliffs along the banks of the river. These cliffs covered with red gravels and sheets of gravels stretch all over the plateau surface for vast areas, indicating that the area must have been the highest levels of the present river. Beyond the confluence point at the place of Bagan, the river forms a terrace system. It consists of sand and fine sand, similar to the present-day sedimental loads carried by the Erie River, which are red gravels and red sands. It contains of stone implementations of the late Stone Age. The sediments are formed by the accumulations of wind blow, sand, and clay. Most of the Buddhist temples and pagodas were built on the stretch of these sandy wind-swept plains. Bagan is sit on a sandstone and shield of the upper Erie River. Since 19th century, a large amount of motion is driving the uplift of Rakhine Western Ranges. The northwest convergence of the Indian Oceanic crest beneath the Burma continental plate is still active. This active tectonic activity below Rakhine Ranges have been causing the intermediate forces along the belt. The Rakhine Range is subductions related to outgrowth continents composed of 2 different geologic units, normally broad belts, which constitute the main sections. These are the main cause of the events, which are continuously colliding between the northwards moving Indian plates and the Burman plate. To mitigate the risk of these ancient pagodas and temples in Bagan, we need effective earthquake preparedness and recovery, rehabilitations, reconstructions. All of those should be introduced for Build Back Better. In preparations, we also need to acquire satellite imageries and geologic informations that will carry out to produce a rapid map that can support governments, disaster management agency, and first responder for these damage assessment, especially in remote areas and during and post disaster situations. In this case, we need to develop a way to detect earthquake zones from satellite images and apply the same techniques to detect the damages. Remote sensings and GIS technology and surveys are also like needed to effectively prepare to keep these religious temples and pagodas intact and to withstand the future earthquakes. These are my references. Thank you so much for listening to my presentations. If you have any questions, just leave them in the forum below. I'll reply to them.